Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to get started with publishing content to the ArcGIS Enterprise portal. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is if you're working outside of the MTC office, you'll need to connect to the MTC network via our VPN before you get started with this process. Um, Today I'm currently working remotely, so I've already connected to the VPN. You can work with IT to help you get going if you've never connected to the VPN before, but I'll assume that if you're working remotely, you already have that information. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And just first, I'm going to refresh my page here just to make sure that my session's not expired. And then I'm going to go ahead and sign in. To access the enterprise portal, just go ahead and navigate to arcgis.ad.mtc.ca.gov/portal/home. And then you should see an option to sign in here. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. The username and password that you'll use should have been provided to you by someone from the DataViz team. If you don't have a username and password, feel free to reach out to any one of the DataViz team members and they will help you get that going. So I'm just going to enter my password here. And once you get signed in, this page will look more or less like the ArcGIS Online page if you've ever logged in there. If not, that's okay too. And I'm just going to kind of show you a couple of things. You can take a look at any groups that you may be a part of or that you own, and any content that you may have by just clicking on these tabs here. I currently have just one feature layer published up here, just the counties, and we've obviously verified that we're able to access the portal. So now I'm actually going to show you a quick example of how you can share content from ArcGIS Pro. So to get started in Pro, go ahead and fire up your ArcGIS Pro software. You'll land on this page. Once you see this page, the first thing that we're going to do is click on Settings here. We're going to go to Portals, add a portal, and then we're going to enter the portal URL. And I'll leave that up for just a second if you want to write that down. Otherwise, most likely you've been provided with some documentation on how to do this yourself as well. So if you don't have that documentation, again, reach out to someone from the DataViz team and they can get you that written documentation for this process. Okay, let's go ahead and hit OK. Depending on when this was recorded, or when you're watching this, you may or may not receive this security alert. Let's just go ahead and hit yes to proceed for now. And then select the portal that was just added, right click on that, say sign in, enter your username and password. Again, this is a username and password that you should have received from someone from the DataViz team. Okay, looks like we were able to sign in successfully. Let's go ahead and open up a project and demonstrate how to publish a layer to the portal. I'm going to go ahead and open up a project that I've already had created before. The first thing that we do once we get our project updated is that we're actually going to switch from the ArcGIS Online portal to our internal ArcGIS organization, or the enterprise portal that we just added. So to do this, go ahead and click on Switch Active Portal. Click on the Enterprise portal that we just added. You're now, the active portal is now the Enterprise portal. So now any data that we publish going forward will publish to your content section on the Enterprise portal. So just to give you a quick overview of sharing, all of the sharing options from projects to maps are right up here in the ribbon. You just click on that share tab and it gives you all the options. The Esri documentation is pretty good on what all of this information means. A lot of these tools share to ArcGIS Online or a portal, or you can also export maps as files. So today we're actually just going to publish one layer. You can actually publish a whole map if you want someone to take a look at a whole map that you've worked on locally, and you want someone to take a look at it the exact way that you've got it symbolized and ordered and all that. But today we're actually just going to demonstrate how to publish one layer, and that's actually probably a best practice to publish each layer as a separate layer to your portal or even to ArcGIS Online, just because it's a little easier to maintain. So in order to publish this information, we're going to publish the Bay Area region file here, or layer here. So right click on this in your table of contents, head down to sharing, and then say share as a web layer. Once this comes up, the geoprocessing tool comes up. It'll default to whatever name that it was given in your table of contents. Write a quick summary that makes it easy for users to understand, anyone who may be exploring content on the portal, what this information represents. And then we'll do a tag, which might help us find this better in the future. One thing that you might notice that's a little bit different from what the tool looks like when you're publishing to portal is that you're going to have this extra option under data. What we're going to want to do is, if we've never published any information before, the option to choose is to copy all data. And the next option that we have to choose from is we can publish this as a feature, a vector tile, a tile, or a map image. We're going to go ahead and publish a feature today. That gives us the pop-up functionality, query functionality, shows the attribute tables, and we're able to actually show this content within the legend of our map online if we so choose. The next thing that we have an option to do is add this to a folder. I've already got a folder created, but if you don't, you can just hit this create new folder option from the drop-down menu and then give the folder a name that makes sense to you. I already have a folder. I'm going to just add it to this administrative folder. The next options that we have is to share with. This is our audience that we can share with. You see everyone here. That's slightly misleading because as the enterprise portal is currently configured, nobody outside of MTC's network can access this information. So at least at this time. And then if we want to share this content with at least everyone who has access to the enterprise portal, we can do that. I don't want to do that right now. You can also add that to any group that you may manage or be a manager of. We don't actually want to do that either. So to finish this up, let's go ahead and analyze. Looks like we have one issue that we need to resolve. The field shape length is not supported as a display field. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, not sure that we're going to want to try to resolve that right now, so we're just going to go ahead and publish the Bay Area counties layer. Seems like we need a column that actually describes the data, and the shape length one is not going to work for us, so why don't we actually go ahead and share this layer. That's okay. I already have this information published up there, so I'm going to call this something else. Again, copy all reference data. We're publishing a feature layer. We don't necessarily need to put this into a folder, as I said, and we're not going to share it with any groups. So let's analyze this and see if we have any issues. Okay, there's no major issues that are popping up that are going to prevent us from going forward. This is a pretty common warning, not necessarily going to prevent us from publishing this. So let's go ahead and proceed in publishing this information. Go ahead and hit the publish button. And this could take more or less time depending on the size of the layer that you're publishing, and as well as your internet service provider speed and bandwidth. Okay, looks like that layer was successfully published to the portal. You can actually click on this and it will take you to the portal. We were already signed in, so I'm going to go ahead and just navigate back to our web browser, and I'm going to head to all my content. I actually didn't stick that into an administrative folder, or the administrative folder. And as you'll recall, I did an underscore test for this one, just so that we didn't get it confused with the layer that I already had published there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. You can see that our summary is here, and our tags are here. You can fill out this information a little bit more to be useful for anyone who may come across this information in the future. But why don't we go ahead and just take a look at this in the map viewer. I'm gonna go ahead and try that again. For some reason there was an issue adding it to the map. So let's go back to our content here. And you can see that the layer was successfully added to the map. we click on one of the counties, we'll get the attributes that were associated with the layer that we just published, and you can take it from there. If you run into any technical issues when you're getting started with publishing to the enterprise portal, don't hesitate to reach out to someone from the DataViz team, and they can hopefully help you troubleshoot or get you going if you come across any issues as you're working. Thanks for watching, and good luck.